In order to follow along, you will need some assets, and they're located in the complete project. So effectively, you're looking for my GitHub profile, John-Smilga, and then more specifically, Mern Jobify version 2. Now, please look for version 2 because there's also a version 1, which is called Mern Course Jobify, I believe. So please look for version 2 because that's the latest version we're going to be working on. And once you get here, you have a few options. You can either download or, of course, you can use the git commands to get the project. And this is totally up to you, but for demonstration purposes, I'm going to use the download option. So get the entire project, crack open the zip file, and in my case, I'll set it up again on a desktop. And yes, this is a complete project. Now, please keep in mind one thing. During the project, we will use environment variables. And essentially, in order to spin up this project, you'll need those values. So if you'll just navigate right now to this particular project and just try to spin up the server, of course, stuff is not going to work because in order for the entire project to work, you'll need to provide the correct env variables, which of course we're going to cover during the course. So don't be surprised if you try to run it and things fail. Yes, unless you have those values, stuff is not going to work. So what do we need from this complete project? So in here, we want to look for client, more specifically source, and we want to grab the assets. So notice in this assets folder, we have CSS, we have images we're going to use, the wrappers, which we're going to cover later, and also a README. So whichever way you prefer, just get this assets folder to our current folder. Now, I suggest copying these things because, again, if you'll try to run the complete project, stuff is not going to work if you'll just pull out this assets folder. So therefore, I'm just going to copy the assets. Then I want to navigate back to the client. Again, I'm looking for the source. And notice over here, I have the assets, but of course, in here, I just have the React SVG. So once I'm in the source, I'll just paste. Of course, it's going to ask whether I want to merge or replace, and I'm going to go with replace option. And if you see the CSS, the images, as well as the README, something we're going to cover in a second, we are in good shape. So once you have the assets nicely in your project, navigate back to the Visual Studio Code. For now, we won't do anything. I do want to showcase the README though. So in here, essentially, you'll find all of the steps we're going to take in order to create this application. And I started doing that effectively with the first version of this course. I started providing this README file, and students seem to really enjoy it because it allows students to work on a project independently. You can also use it for reference and to troubleshoot your project. And also, you can just copy some syntax. Let's say there's some boring imports and all that. So instead of wasting your time and typing it line by line, you can simply copy from the README. And once you have the assets in place, up next, let's talk about the global styles.